Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to everyone present with us online today to join this MoU signing ceremony for IPSAS between the Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of Pakistan and the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants of UK. My name is Javeria Malik and I am privileged to host this ceremony today on behalf of both the professional accounting organizations. It is my pleasure to welcome you all, esteemed guests of honor, members, employers, students, and teams of both professional accountancy organizations who are present with us online today. As well as I'm honored to welcome on behalf of ACCA and ICMA Pakistan, Mr. Abdul Ghafoor Khan, who's the Rector for Pakistan Audit and Accounts Academy, and he's our guest of honor, as well as Dr. Jawad Zaka Khan. He's the Deputy Military Accountant General of Pakistan. We have with us as guest of honor Ms. Sumaira Aslam. She's the Additional Secretary, Ministry of Finance, and Mr. Omar Banouri, who's the DG Accounts Controller General of Accounts of Pakistan. So thank you to all of our guests of honor for being part of this ceremony with us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the public sector globally has been facing multiple challenges ranging from technology disruption to declining public trust in the public sector services. These kind of challenges require innovative and sustainable solutions and responses which are possible to counter with proper capacity building. Furthermore, due to this pandemic situation, this situation has posed unprecedented pressure on public sector to provide services in the most effective manner. And therefore, there is an urgent need for global reforms in terms of services as well as capacity building. Professional accountants have a very vital role to play in capacity building of accountants in the public sector. And therefore, ACCA and ICMA Pakistan are joining hands today to sign this MoU, which is for IPSAS, so that we are able to deliver international public sector accounting standards training to public sector accountants. International public sector accountants help public sector finance professionals to enhance the quality, consistency, transparency of their financial reporting in order to offer to stakeholders accurate information and insights and to help rebuild public trust. Under this partnership, a certificate in international public sector accounting standards will be delivered by ICMA Pakistan and ACCA together to finance professionals working in public sector or those who are aspiring to join the public sector in the future. Now, these standards have been developed to enhance the quality of public sector financial reporting worldwide, issued by the International Public Sector Accounting Standards Board. They are cash-based standards and accruals standards used for the preparation of general purpose financial statements by governments and other public sector entities around the world. ACCA and ICMA Pakistan will be offering this training to professionals of public sector under the umbrella of this MoU. Now, I am honored to request President of ICMA Pakistan to welcome our audience formally and share his views on the importance of IPSAS standards.
Thank you, Javeria. Respected guest of honors, members of ICMA Pakistan and members of ACCA, professionals from different organizations, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you on this session, on this virtual session of MoU signing ceremony between ICMA Pakistan and ACCA. This is our second MoU in this year 2020. Initially, we signed a strategic partnership agreement between both the organizations, ICMA Pakistan and ACCA, and the fellow members of both the organizations now have the opportunity to avail the pathway of ICMA Pakistan and ACCA to become the fellow member of each other. So both organizations are working for the promotion of professional accountants and promoting the education of accountancy and auditing in Pakistan. This MOU is again an effort of ICMA Pakistan and ACCA to promote the awareness about the public sector accountancy and public sector accounting standards, which is known as IPSAS, International Public Sector Accounting Standards. So already ICMA Pakistan and ACCA, we were doing this effort for the last few years, and now we are strengthening this effort by again providing an opportunity to the professionals of different public sector organizations to join this program and gain the knowledge of public sector accountancy. You know, in Pakistan, we have a challenges of governance in public sector, and we are always talking about the accountability in the public sector. We are of the view that before accountability, there should be accounting in these organizations. We must have accounting systems. We must have double entry accounting system. We must have the data to evaluate and data to audit. So the stakeholders are always looking for the information from these organizations. But unfortunately, we are not at that level in the public sector where we should be. But the efforts from the professional organizations like ICMA and our partner ACCA, we are putting our best efforts to educate the professionals of public sector organization with this IPSAS certification and provide them the opportunity to learn these standards and implement these global standards in your organizations so that the information should be available to all the stakeholders. Right now, if you look, there are different modes in public sector where the organizations are working. The organizations are working in a company mode in public sector. We have organizations which are working as an authority, as a board, as a cell, and as a department of a federal government. As far as companies are concerned, there is somehow a better awareness about the record keeping, about the maintaining of all financial records of all financial transactions. But the organizations which are not in the company mode, in such organizations, we have to go for the proper accounting system. And in this regard, in my opinion, two things are very much important. One is a professional who have the knowledge of accountancy, who is aware with the international accounting standard, aware with the financial reporting standards, aware with the IPSAS standards, so that he can put his knowledge into a practical shape in such organization. And second thing is the systems, the ERP systems in those organizations. So a professional and a system. These things are required so that we can maintain the records of all the financial transactions in such public sector organization in a way which is internationally acceptable. Right now, we are maintaining these things, but on a most of the organizations are on a single entry systems in public sector organization. So there is a huge margin available, and with this effort, we can say that the data will be available in the shape of financial statements, which are income statement, balance sheets, cash flows, and these statements are required to make the decisions for future plannings. So this data must be available. Otherwise, every day we are listening. There are issues in the financial management in public sector organizations. So my point of view is that we should give importance to this IPSAS training. The We are very much glad that Auditor General of Pakistan is supporting this cause. The Pakistan Audit and Accounts Academy is supporting this cause, and Military Accountant General and Controller General of Accounts of Pakistan and Ministry of Finance. And today we have the representation from all these forums, which shows the intention to support this cause of promotion of IPSAS standards in Pakistan. So this is an effort, and I am expecting that this effort will bring a good result, and we can provide you the training at a very nominal cost, because these organizations, ICMA and ACCA, we are not for profit organization, and the objective band is this: to train the professionals and to implement the best accounting and auditing systems in the public sector organizations, so that the stakeholders can get the benefit and the society can get the benefit at large. So this is, I think, right now the requirement of the public sector, where we must have all such professionals and all such systems should be in place. So with these words, I would say that ICCA and ICMA, inshallah, will come up with a few more initiatives for the betterment of the profession of accountancy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the President of ICMA Pakistan for his welcome remarks. The audience who might have joined us just now, I just wanted to share that today we are here for an MoU signing ceremony in ACCA and ICMA Pakistan for the training of IPSAS certifications. Now we are very pleased and humbled that we have officials with us today who would be speaking at this session today. So I am pleased to welcome Mr. Abdul Ghafoor Khan, who's Director for Pakistan Audit and Accounts Academy, and he would be delivering his keynote address on importance of strengthening institutional performance in Pakistan. Sir Abdul Ghafoor Khan, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Ms. Joeria. And I will talk for a few minutes on behalf of the Auditor General of Pakistan, who nominated me as Rector of Pakistan Audit and Accounts Academy to deliver this speech. And I am thankful to Mr. Ziaul Mustafa, the President of ICMA Pakistan, and Mr. Sajid Aslam, Head of ACCA Pakistan, distinguished guests and excellencies, and other participants also. It is really a momentous occasion that I have been honored to address this ceremony of MoU signing between ICMA and ACCA, and it will reassuring that the prerequisites are being fulfilled for commissioning of continued professional development, which is necessary for human resource development within the Department of Auditor General of Pakistan and the Department of Controller General of Accounts, to harness the competencies for with fully accredited reinforcing the reform agenda which has been introduced by the Government of Pakistan, bringing a paradigm shift in public financial management, which is pivoted around the transparency and accountability to safeguard the value for money collected or spent in the public sector. I would say that in the context of IPSAS and their relevance for the public sector institutions, I would like to highlight the overarching principle driven from the world's best practices that the government depend on the trust of their citizens and their national and international stakeholders in order to deliver their goals efficiently and effectively. the regular publication of high-quality accrual-based financial reports helps strengthening the public financial management institutions and is fundamental ingredient in maintaining public trust in public finance. IPSAS-based information provides a comprehensive and comparable picture of a public sector entity's financial performance and position. Dear participants, the Sustainable Development Goals adopted by the United Nations member states in 2015 and ratified by Pakistan require efficient mobilization and management of vast financial resources for which an improvement in governance, transparency, and accountability at all levels is critically important, which will ultimately strengthen the institutional performance. I would like to add that the adoption of accrual accounting by the governments is widely thought to be a natural corollary of new public management reforms. Accrual accounting, in preference to cash accounting, has always been adopted because the information that cash accounting provides is considered insufficient either for transparency and or for accountability and decision making. In order to improve transparency and accountability and so in resource allocation and service delivery, SAI Pakistan ardently support the paradigm shift in public sector financial management aligned to the best international practices. There is no denying the fact that streamlining of the accounting system in accordance with the best practices will result in consistency and transparency in financial statements of the country. Second, the ensuring good governance, boosting the confidence of the investors, and contributing to strengthening of economy, and it will result in strengthening of institutional performance as a result of if we follow the above mentioned four elements. The public sector accounting system in Pakistan has been overhauled recently with the introduction of reforms assisted by the World Bank through project to improve financial reporting and auditing called PIFRA. We can say that IPSAS supports transparency and accountability in public sector organizations and improve the quality of the financial information reporting. The main purpose of IPSAS is to improve the quality of general purpose financial reports of the public sector entities for decision making and resource allocation. Compliance with these standards ensure that financial reporting of public entities reflects the true and fair view of the financial position and shows transparency and accountability in the management of public resources. IPSAS also enables the comparison of financial reports with those of other countries and motivate the raising of the public capital from international markets also. The lack of adherence to these standards result in sovereign debt crisis caused by poor financial management, lopsided public sector financial reporting, and the lack of institutional framework for good financial fiscal management, and thereby worsening the governance crisis. Contrary to the cardinal principles of full disclosure of IPSAS, the accounts of the governments usually do not reflect the liabilities and the assets of the government and invariably take items into revenue which are basically of capital nature. For example, the receipts of the sales of the government assets is shown as revenue. Hence, the lack of this type of information has resulted in distorted data used for decision-making process in public sector. For instance, when there is no accurate information available about public assets, the focus of decisions will be on whether or not to spend on acquiring or establishing new assets. And when this information is made available, the focus will be diverted to whether to retain and upgrade the existing assets with certainty. In addition, the benefit of full disclosure will be the promotion of accountability, as greater financial transparency will be there. Generally speaking, transparency and accountability are interrelated concepts and mutually reinforcing. Without strengthening the institutions of financial accountability in the country, there could not be any meaningful and objective accountability. In fact, transparency is built on free flow of information, which may come when institutions are strengthened, and it requires that the government should disclose the wide range of economic and physical information to the public. On the other hand, transparency is also a key element of bureaucratic accountability that entails making available for public scrutiny of all public accounts and audit reports. Therefore, the governments need to overcome the lack of financial transparency and poor quality of financial information about their assets, liabilities, revenues, expenses, as well as information about their exposure to losses and potential obligations related to contingencies and commitments. I would like to add that the option of APSAS, including training, APSAS includes training, hiring, consultancy, organizational changes, IT investments, and other overheads, depending on the activity and nature of the entity. A project team and managerial support are required to accomplish the project. Reform in the public sector financial accounting can bring many benefits in terms of quality and quantity of services that are provided to the citizens in many countries across the world. However, these reforms should be considered carefully and critically, and the aspects such as basis of accounting to be adopted need to be decided in the context of overall priorities of the reform process in the country. I would say that, as a matter of fact, nurturing ambitions for reform should not be regarded as an end in itself. It will not improve control or management where inadequate control and poor management exist, nor it will improve external audit or legislature's oversight as a guardian of public purse. Before this reform is introduced, cash accounting should be robust, control should be secured, external audit should be functioning well, and legislature should have an ability to call the executive to account. It is but imperative that preconditions that government need to meet are meaningfully fulfilled to ensure that the desired benefits of accrual accounting are achieved and institutions are got strengthened to take independent decisions. Respected guests and participants, there is a dire need for achieving greater budgetary transparency coupled with implementation of market efficiency principles, starting from the concept of enhancing the quality and uniformity of financial reporting throughout the world. The IPSAS board has served the public interest by developing high quality public sector financial reporting standards and by facilitating the governance of international and national standards. As a result, the IPSAS represent a significant step towards strengthening governmental financial reporting around the world, taking into account number one, the harmonization of information systems, accounting and statistics reporting system, and two, the development of cost and managerial accounting instruments within the public sector to enhance the compatibility of internal and external reporting. The responsibilities of the officers of Pakistan Audit and Account Service have become all the more important in ensuring and strengthening the parliamentary oversight and adding value to the governance in the domain of public financial management as well as financial reporting. Therefore, the officers of Pakistan Audit and Account Service are obliged to focus on their continuous professional development, learning new skills for simulating audit techniques, commensurating with emerging audit areas, and working environments to prove themselves productive members of public sector auditing community. I would say that the Department of Auditor General of Pakistan is cognizant of all the challenges and has set up process reforms in motion as hiring of audit management information system is in process, which will strengthen the institution of financial accountability in near future, inshallah. Similarly, to realign human resource management development with new challenges, a comprehensive domain-specific indigenous capacity building has been developed, which lays out the roadmap consisting of a set of newly developed courses to be attended each by IDC officers in BS 18 and 19. All these efforts will ultimately translate into strengthening public accountability and good governance in the country. In the end, I would sincerely hope that this auspicious occasion of MoU signing between ICMA and ACCA will make us feel nostalgic about our humble efforts we are making today when the sapling of institutional framework being sown, which will eventually thus bloom into an alma mater for professionally groomed practitioners of IPSAS in Pakistan, that too in very near future. With these prayers and well wishes, I would like to sign off. Thank you very much, all. Thank you.
Strengthening institutional performance in Pakistan. May I request Dr. Jawad Zaga Khan, who's the Deputy Military Accountant General of Pakistan, to deliver his keynote address on future of public sector workplace.
Is that my turn? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it very well. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Dr. Jawad Zaga Khan, and I am Deputy Military Accountant General. I am representing the Pakistan Military Accounts Department. Today I am going to discuss about the future of public sector workplace. Technology and new talent models are transforming the way the world works. People are our greatest assets and we should invest in them. Currently, there is a wide gap between public sector and the private sector workforce management. Public sector organizations are still locked into decades-old workplace policies. Major changes are needed in workforce management and workplace management. By the workplace, we means that it's not only the physical space that in which the people work, it also includes management practices and organizational structures. Leading workplaces in the world not only provide the physical infrastructure but also provide access to professional development, career planning tools, and resources needed to work remotely. There are various methods through which the government can ensure to improve the workplace. First and foremost is the creation of physical environments that drive productivity and creativity. In government workspaces, the designs are mainly based on the decreasing the cost of the construction, and they fail to provide an inspiring environment. In one of the Harvard studies by T.H. Chan School of Public Health, it was shown that the well-ventilated, green, superior quality working environments has a stronger cognitive function of their employees. And if you look at the public, like at the private, like the Apple, the very big IT company, they have a mini forest of 9,000 acres in their Apple Park. And the other thing that the governments can do is to use science to optimize individual and team performance. And that can be achieved by using the big data and the making decision not on the basis of intuition but on the basis of data available. And one of the Google's Aristotle projects, they find out what are the best teams that are successful. They are not necessarily the people with the greatest skill, but the people should have the generosity, curiosity, and they should have the empathy and emotional intelligence to cooperate with each other. These things are found by using the software developed by them, and generally the private sector companies are using these practices. And it may be a while that the government should start using these technologies. Another thing is that the use of the tools to help optimize performance in the field. Because some workers are working in head office and many of the government employees are working in the field, and they need these information technology tools to help optimize their functioning. For example, in American Customs and Border Security Department, they use face recognition cameras to detect any fraudulent traveler or things like that. And also the use of unmanned aerial vehicles by the US border patrols to watch the Mexico border. They are doing it. And one of the other important things that government should improve is the workplace is to improve employee well-being, because due to the current information technology and due to the widespread use of mobile devices, nobody is off duty anymore. And one of the Gallup survey shows that 50% of employees leave their organization because of their managers. And there is also the need to improve the managerial practice currently in the government, in the public sectors. And then the next thing that the government can do is to enable learning in the flow of work. By meaning the flow of work, that the training should be embedded in the work practices and not in like the specialized university training or the specialized courses, but it's more or less of like in an apprenticeship. It's generally practices in accounting profession, in medical profession, and the government training should be like that. And the thing is that these things are not going to be done in a short period of time. It will take much time. And for the training, especially in Pakistan, the Benazir income support programs, they have specialized skills where they can teach people. These sort of programs can be done for the government employees by using the universities or other third-party training. And there are many challenges to achieve this future workplace. And one of the main challenges is the rigid job descriptions in the public sector. The job descriptions in the public sector are very unflexible, and there is a need to reclassify and simplify these job descriptions. In one of the California's IT and Human Resource Department, they have abolished 700 job descriptions, and instead they made the new one. And the job descriptions change are necessary because they will result in the hiring of professionals, the people that are specialized to these work. The other main hurdle in achieving the better environment in work public sector is the compensation packages. These are uniform in, as you are all are aware that generally there are basic pay scale packages from 1 to 22 scales, and these are generally are not rewarding and not based on the performance of an individual. In some departments like the Federal Board of Revenue, in some police departments and other, there is advantages. There can be cash awards or honoraria, but the pay packages are more or less the inflexible. They are the same. There is a need to make the pay packages flexible and depending upon the work performed by the government employees. And there is the third thing is there about jobs are evolving and these require training, because most of the government employees have received their training at the time of their entering in service. But for particular, like the officer cadre, they are trained time and again. But for the non-officer cadre, the trainings are just short trainings for few days courses. There is not long-term course. And if such a course like IPSAS and other are carried out, it will enhance the capacity of the government servants and they can perform their job better. Another thing is that general training has become less effective, because today is the especially in the field of accounting. When I belong to the 29th Common Batch, when we were at this Accounts Training Institute, we were generally trained in the service and financial, and our training is very generalized. But after that, the Department of Auditor General of Pakistan has realized it, and they have made a specialized training, and it's more or less based on modern practices, and they teach the new accounting model. And as our senior officer, Mr. Ghafoor Saab, they have talked that due to the PIFRA project, there is a lot of trainings and a lot of new technologies that are introduced into the departments. And for that, a lot of training has to be given. The people are trained in SAP, but specifically no such training is given like IPSAS. But many of the officers, including myself, we went to the UK for receiving a master's in accounting and finance. But generally, there are very few people that receive that training. And another problem is that the traditional jobs are disappearing, and then the government sector has to. There are two options: that to lay off these government employees or reskill them and retrain them in new technologies, so they cannot become redundant and be useful for the government. And another problem is that sometimes the new roles that are due to the implementation of information technology and other are not beyond the reach of current workers. As such, when the PIFRA project was implemented in Department of Auditor General of Pakistan, the senior most accounts officer, they are unable to work on the computers and use the SAP. And the thing is that some of them have learned these things, but most of them become redundant. And the use and the new workforce, which are the new recruits, they took over the system, and they made our project successful. And the thing is that in the end, we can say that the governments cannot address today's complex challenges with outdated systems. The current approaches on how government manages its business are not carved in stone. The aim of any reform effort should be to create value by unleashing the productivity and talent of our employees, and ensuring the system should be transparent and accountable through better public financial management. Thank you.
For your insights on future of public sector workplace. I'm very pleased to have with us Madam Sumaira Aslam. She's the Additional Secretary, Ministry of Finance, and she's the Council Member for ICMA Pakistan as well. So I would request her to share her thoughts on the significance of public sector reforms. Madam Sumaira.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Greetings on behalf of Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of Pakistan. It is my privilege to be a part of this virtual MoU signing ceremony for International Public Structure Accounting System, jointly organized by ICMA Pakistan and ACCA. Sound public financial management is critical for the achievement of aims of the public sector through its role in improving the quality of public service outcomes, operational and strategic decision making, long-term sustainability of public service, building public trust in performance of the sector, and ensuring the efficient and effective use of public funds. Optimal public financial management would additionally display flexibility that allows the targeted sectors to adjust easily and in the desired manner with the public sector induced changes. Good public financial management systems are important for democratic governance, macroeconomic stability, effective use of resources, and poverty reduction. Good public financial management systems can also help prevent corruption and foster aid effectiveness. There is an increasing trend on improving the quality of public financial management systems around the world, and a remarkable achievement has been witnessed. However, much still remains to be done, and the role of professional accountants remain crucial. Public financial management system is used to allocate public funds, account for all public expenditure and revenue, plan the cost of delivering services, and audit the results. I would like to highlight few important aspects. When the finances of a public body are managed efficiently, we see a close link of it with poverty reduction, as services are delivered more effectively and market can be regulated more fairly. Poor public financial management encourages the spread of corruption and allows waste, which has negative impact on the services offered to the public. Efficient public financial management system helps to boost public confidence. If the system is transparent and well managed, the general public tend to have increased trust and confidence in the government. It helps economic stability. If public services are delivered effectively, a related improvement in economic growth and equality can be tracked. It demonstrates that the services provided are good value. Citizens and stakeholders want evidence that public expenditure is being done in a way that represents good value. Ladies and gentlemen, the world has now shrunk, big deal, and is changing at a rapid pace. And therefore, the financial management system must come up to the international standards of accounting and accountability in order to gain the trust for the private and public sector organizations. This MoU is being done with the objective of enhancing public financial management, and it will assist public sector setups in gearing up to meet the new demands of the augmented role of public sector organizations. It will enhance and provide solutions for development financing and hence development. In my view, a strong leadership, good governance, and transparency in reporting can bring great improvement in public financial management systems. With these remarks, I congratulate ICMA Pakistan and ACCA on signing this MoU and their staff for organizing this ceremony, and I am looking forward to its long-term results in the coming years. I also thank the audience and wish them a happy, healthy, and prosperous life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Sumera, for your best wishes for this MoU signing ceremony between ACCA and ICMA Pakistan. We are very pleased that all these public sector officials are able to join us on this important occasion, because this MoU is aimed to enhance the public's financial management in public sector. Next, we have with us our guest of honor, Mr. Omar Banoori, who is the DG Accounts Controller General of Accounts Pakistan. He would be speaking on public financial management. Thank you so much. You will please start.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you so much. Distinguished participants, Assalamu alaikum. I am Omar Banoori. I am Director General Accounts in the Office of the CGA. First of all, I would like to congratulate you, ACCA and ICMAP, on the signing of this MoU. And I would like to thank especially Mr. Sajid Aslam for the invitation. And it's a moment of great pleasure for us to be a part of this important event as well. I would also like to thank for giving us the opportunity to say a few words on the public financial management of the country. Dear members, the government has a key role in determining public expenditure in the most efficient and effective manner, with the objective to get the maximum benefits of the available public wealth, reducing the inequalities through distribution of income, and managing the business fluctuation and its impact on the economy. For the achievement of these objectives and put the country's economy on the right track, the government has a key role in making and implementing the monetary, fiscal, and trade policies. Besides inflation, unemployment, and corruption, wastage of public resources and improvement in public service delivery are some of the challenges that the public sector organizations are facing these days. Ladies and gentlemen, public financial management covers the efficient and effective management of public revenues, public expenditure, public assets, and public debt, with the overall objective to maximize the social advantage. In the public sector, it also refers to the set of laws, rules, systems, and processes used by the governments and subnational governments as well to mobilize revenue, allocate public funds, and undertake public spending, account for the funds, and audit the results. Respected participants, to cope with the problems which I have just mentioned and to ensure achievement of these objectives, we have to look into the core dimensions of the PFM. We know besides fiscal sustainability, assessing the sovereign debt risk and fiscal transparency are integral parts of aggregate fiscal management. Delivering value for money and effective performance management shall be the outcomes of the operational management by the line ministries, divisions, and attached departments. Fiduciary risk management demands effective financial controls, compliance with the statutory frameworks, and proper oversight of the public finances. Distinguished guests, we are all aware that the government of Pakistan, with the help of its development partners, is already doing a lot in the area of management of public revenues and in bringing overall fiscal discipline in public expenditure and public debt through improvements in the regulatory and statutory frameworks. The promulgation of Fiscal Responsibility and Debt Limitation Act of 2005 and the recently promulgated PFM Act of 2019, these are some of the examples in this regard. But that's not enough. The executives have to focus on service delivery and to keep a close eye on any unauthorized and irregular expenditure that is hampering public service delivery. Respected participants, traditionally, the organization of the Controller General of Accounts through its field accounting offices had been engaged in authorization of payments and compilation and consolidation of the government accounts. After implementation of the PIFRA project, the business processes in the main field accounting offices have been automated. The pay and pension of the civil government servants has been automated and is being transferred to their bank accounts through seamless pension and payroll systems. Dear colleagues, the accounting system in the form of new accounting model NAM is compliant with the cash-based IPSAS and IMF GFS of 1986. The primary book of accounts, along with the monthly and annual financial statements, are maintained in the ERP system for more transparency and accountability. GP fund ledgers of the government servants in centralized accounting entities are automated, and payments out of the GP fund accounts are made and maintained through the ERP system as well. Respected participants, the reforms in relation to public sector financial management in the country are underway. The government of Pakistan has decided to position chief finance and accounts officers, we call them CFAOs, in each line ministry to assist and guide the principal accounting officers, PAOs, in the areas of financial management. Although the task of internal audit was assigned to CFAOs back in 2006, but now there will be a chief internal auditor posted in each ministry to carry out the function of internal audit in a well-defined framework in line with the best international practices. On recommendation of the Office of the CGA, an internal audit policy board is being considered to prepare and improve the internal audit charter and overall monitoring the performance of the CIAs for each public sector entity. Office of the CGA has already submitted a draft of this first ever audit charter to the Finance Division. Respected participants, to improve service delivery at line ministries, divisions, and departments, the field offices of the CGA organization have started to establish claims processing counters in the ministries and departments to ensure efficiency in payments to the vendors. This will help to ensure the recording of commitments, assets, and budgetary adjustments within each ministry. Respected colleagues, the Department of the Auditor General of Pakistan and Control General of Accounts are working jointly on the improvement of the accounting system of the public sector entities. A strategy has been drafted for transition towards accrual-based accounting in a phased manner. The proposed system under the Article 170 of the Constitution of Pakistan shall be able to fulfill the constitutional requirements, administrative and accountability requirements, stakeholders requirements, and these are aligned with the best international accounting practices, inshallah. Now, in the end, Mr. Sajid Aslam and Mr. Jal Mustafa Awan Sawan, the CG office gives immense importance to the development of human resource in the public sector in the areas of cost audit, internal audit, and international public sector accounting standards. Your joint move of these IPSAS certificates will go a long way in taking forward the government's PFM reform agenda forward in an efficient and effective manner. I wish you all the success in that, and I thank you all for your attention. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Umar, for sharing the initiatives and recommendations to the government of Pakistan by the CGA Office of Pakistan. We now would request Mr. Sajid Aslam, who's the head of ACCA Pakistan, to share his views on this MOU and his on the collaboration with ICMA Pakistan, and we'll then proceed towards the MOU signing ceremony. So, Mr. Sajid.
Thank you, Javedia. And thank you, Ziasab, as well. I think this is one of our key opportunity, which was identified a couple of years back. And as a pilot under the USAID project, we collaborated and delivered the first batch around the IPSAS, and there were over 200 officers which were trained. IPSAS is one of a recording mechanism, and definitely we are talking about where we can have a double entry, we can identify the liabilities and assets based on their true value, and we can evaluate the balance sheet of Pakistan and really record the financial record information, which is more comparable with the rest of the world. But I think I'll go beyond that. The relationship between the governments and the citizen is all based on the trust. What government does and what public perceive, that's create a certain social equity for any government in any country, I would say. And one of the key role or a key player within that trust building is the government institutes who are handling the public financial management. The people who are responsible to record and report that, the people who are responsible to bring the audit to that and add that credibility to that information. if I see Pakistan in the last 10 years, I think a lot of credit goes to AGP, CGA, military controller of general accounts, as well as finance ministry, which all put together have really progressed in that domain, where we have seen PEPRA project, we have seen SAP implementation. These changes in the government infrastructures are not easy, and it's very time consuming, just because of the processes and also because of the volume. But I think ACCA and ICMAP are very determined that we would like to create that capacity and capability using all the product and support which we can provide to really run those reform agendas which AGP is talking, Finance Ministry is talking, CGA is talking, and all those reform agendas can only be implemented by people. And that cannot be done through the policy statement, that cannot be done through the law, that cannot be done through the changes of the procedure, but that can only be done through the capable people. IPSAS is a one step further. It's not the ultimate step, but that's just bringing us closer to that, where this certificate, which is an international one, which can be used in Pakistan, and we can use that and leverage that product, and we can train people and build that capacity, which can help us to move from a current single entry to the double entry system, or based on the international public sector accounting standards. ICMAP has got a major role to play as one of a key stakeholder, as a national body, which is coming forward and really taking that progressive role, partnering with the public sector, partnering with the international organization, and have a vision to really contribute, not only in the profession, but really shaping the national agenda within Pakistan. And we really appreciate, and we are very proud on that partnership. This partnership, I'm sure, is going a long way, and we will see the benefit and the contribution this partnership will be bringing to Pakistan and the profession of Pakistan. And definitely, we are very thankful for our colleagues from AGP, from Controller General of Account, from MGA, as well as from Finance Ministry, to support this initiative. And we will be looking forward for your support for implementation. Signing agreements is easy. Implementation require a lot of collaboration, and we have seen that in past as well, when we were running a small batch of 200 under the US aid management in the partnership with ICMAP. I think it took a lot of time in terms of logistic and in terms of planning. But we are very proud that under this partnership, we managed to really conclude that within less than 3 months. We managed to really run all the training, and the most importantly, the people who have gone through that content and the training, they passed exams, if not in the first attempt, in the second attempt, and everybody really have done well in terms of learning and then referring it back in terms of when they were assessed or evaluated. And now they are carrying an international public sector accounting standard certificates, which is not only one of a benefit for them in Pakistan, but that's also create their transferable skill. For me, my vision is that going forward from 5-10 years from now, we would be looking for where we want the world to look for the capacity and capability in Pakistan when they decide they want to reform their public financial management. They should be picking up the resources from our government. They should be requesting our government, and we should be one of a key case study, which we are in some cases already. We do not promote those, and we should be the one of a case study which the world should be referring how the reforms should be done and how the capacity should be built and how the behaviors and attitude can change to lead to that transformation. So I'm really thankful to ICMAP to getting into this partnership. I'm thankful to the government institution who are appreciating that, and I'm thankful to ICMAP and ACCA members who are supporting this initiative. And I'm sure, given the vision we have collectively, we will see a different kind of reputation for Pakistan on PFM, and we should be a net talent exporter when any country decide they want to do a PFM reforms. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank Mr. Sajid Aslam for sharing his views on the current MoU signing ceremony. We are just about to start the signing process, and meanwhile, may I request all the speakers to please switch on their cameras. Mr. Abdul Ghafoor Khan, Mr. Jawad Zaka, Madam Sumaira, Mr. Omar Banouri. If you can kindly switch on all your cameras so that we are able to Sir Amir Ijaz Khan, and we would be signing in a few minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we were able to bring to you the live MoU signing ceremony between ACCA and ICMA Pakistan for international standards on public accounting. And we were able to witness this moment live. I'm sure our audience online on our social media channels have enjoyed this ceremony. I am very thankful to our public sector officials who have been our guests of honor for this ceremony, to witness this ceremony here, to show their support towards this initiative of ACCA and ICMA Pakistan, Mr. Abdul Ghafoor Khan, Dr. Jawad Zaka Khan, Nadim Sumaira Aslam, Mr. Omar Banouri, for being part of this session, for sharing your insights. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you and to listen to you and to listen to the initiatives that government of Pakistan is taking for transparent public financial management. I am very thankful to ACCA and to President of ICMA Pakistan and National Council of ICMA Pakistan and to entire ACCA team as well for making this virtual ceremony possible in these challenging times. Indeed, we have to keep moving ahead as we continue to live in these challenging times. Thank you everyone for being part of this session, and we look forward to the benefits of this agreement for public financial management. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.